within the Rumble, but that never went anywhere. I'm interested to see if that picks up back in there. I'm also interested to see how they handle Braun Strowman. They've got to be careful in some respects because you don't want all these sort of unstoppable forces in the ring at the same time if they're going to have some big shocking things happening. You want to keep Brock and Goldberg sort of well away from Braun Strowman in a lot of ways because that would just kill his gimmick again. Not that much has helped him of late, I'll give you that, but I feel like they have to be careful with Braun Strowman, how they handle him in it and what he does. But nonetheless, I think I'm definitely holding out hope. I'm gonna try and remain positive, Matt, that this year or next year, shall I say, is going to be a good, strong Royal Rumble for a change. I'm thinking, I said they couldn't muck it up after 2 years. They did. Can they muck it up after 3 years? I'm almost praying that they can't, but you never know. They certainly have outdone themselves, haven't they, of late with that. But I think more importantly, I want a good, strong WrestleMania as well, and it all starts at the Rumble. Guys, that gives me a nice chance to let you guys in on our what we're going to be doing next year, because obviously the podcast is changing slightly. We're going to have a completely new look going on. We're launching our app, which is going to come about. You're going to have access to that on Google Play from the 29th of the 1st, 2017, which of course, Matt, is the day of the Royal Rumble. So everybody will be able to have the chance to download that. More details on that coming next week. Also, we are going to be doing our 20 back series, which will basically we take the pay-per-views of the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, and we go back 20 years in the past. And similar to what we've done with our King of the Ring retrospective series, we will literally be going through the entire lot. You can join us, and it'll be a sort of nice little package towards the Royal Rumble itself on the weekend. You guys, if you've got any spare time, or you want a little bit of build up, and you want to go 20 years back. And by the way, Matt, what's very ironic about it is it's 20 years to that. It's in the same exact building, 20 years later, which is quite amazing and astonishing. Definitely looking forward to going back and looking at that. Also, we're going to have more wrestling arts shows coming out. And on top of that, we finally, Matt, and I'm hoping that I can say this because we've had some problems recording our final King of the Ring, haven't we? But we are hopeful for everybody, and I did say I'd promise. We're going to literally send out our final King of the Ring retrospective 2002, which is the final one of the 10, out on New Year's Eve. That's going to be dropped on New Year's Eve, so you guys can finally have it. I've had so many people like, are you definitely going to be able to do it? I want to listen to it. So, it's incredible to me. I'm kind of glad that everybody is loving it so much that they want like the full 10 before the end of the year. It has to be done for some insane reason. Yeah, we've got some dedicated fans out there, but it's good that you guys are enjoying that. We're having a blast doing it, and it's going to be sad to sort of not do any more King of the Rings, but we're going to be doing lots more stuff next year for sure. And don't forget, people, if you want to get in touch with the podcast, email us at thewrestlingskullpodcast@gmail.com. With all that said, Matt, we are at the end of our show. Great as always to have you, and this is, of course, the last regular show anyway before the new year, Matt. I'm going to say this because I don't know if we may do a review show next week, Matt. I haven't discussed it with Matt yet. Maybe I'll ask the listeners as well. If you think we should do an end of year show, drop us emails and we'll get to it. But if we literally don't have to. But I'm going to say this much, Matt. I'm going to ask some predictions for the new year, just right off the bat, right off the spot. I haven't actually thought about it myself, but are there any sort of two bold predictions that you'll give for next year? Because of course your ones come true, Matt. In this last one of mine completely has not come true. Of course, our good old friend Roman Reigns is still a babyface. I'll go first on this one, Matt. I think I'm going to try and play a safe bet with this one. I'm going to say that my bold prediction will be that Brock Lesnar, I believe, will avenge his defeat against Goldberg. I think that's going to happen. That'll be my first one, and hopefully we'll forget about everything that happened at Survivor Series. Anything from you, Matt?
Oh, this is difficult, isn't it? I can go really, really far on the extreme. I might do that, actually. I might say we will see Undertaker's last match in 2017.
Yeah, I think that might be a very good one there, because I think even if it's not WrestleMania, I have a feeling Survivor Series comes from, of course, Houston next year, and I've got a feeling that is going to be it. I know lots of people have been talking about WrestleMania, but I feel like he'll end where he started on Survivor Series in his home state. So that's from me. That's a good one there, in fact. Okay, my other one, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to play it safe as well. I'm gonna go with seeing a new talent coming in or something like that. But I'm trying to think off the top of my head who's out there. But I'm going to say, I'm going to play it really, I don't know where to go with this. Well, I'm going to play a safe one. I'm going to say that Sasha Banks, Matt, on for you here, is going to turn heel, and she's finally going to get a big run with that title. I just have a feeling for it, that she'll turn heel and she's going to have a big title run. I think this year's definitely been Charlotte's, but I've got a feeling that Sasha's going to come back in a completely different role. Maybe one that we're more used to seeing at NXT than the babyface version. Any final one from you, Matt?
This is like, there's some obvious ones, isn't there? But I'm not going to go something too obvious, like the Impact Nakamura one, because that's obvious.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this is a hopeful one from me. I'm going to hope that WWE will sign Jay Lethal.
Oh, good pick. Yep. I mean, you did say AJ Styles last year, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think we was all happy about that. So, yeah, that's a good one. And yeah, if anybody else has got any predictions they think, and they want to put it out there, don't forget, email us at the WrestlingSkullPodcast@gmail.com. And that's it for this week, everybody, and for this year. We'll be back with our regular show next week. And don't forget, this Saturday, New Year's Eve, we will be dropping the final instalment of the King of the Ring Retrospective Series 2002. Matt, thank you as always, and have a happy New Year to you.
Yeah, and you too.
And of course, happy New Year to all our listeners, and we'll see you next week, folks. Until then.